Despite the success of the Mickey Mouse and Silly Symphony short subjects, Walt knew that the short films were a dying medium. The real money lied with feature films. One thing that influenced his decision was seeing his comedy idols Laurel and Hardy along with Charlie Chaplin transition to feature films. So what would be his first film? One idea that came to mind was a live-action animated hybrid of the Lewis Carroll fable Alice in Wonderland, but Walt settled on the Brothers Grimm fairy tale Snow White. When asked why he chose Snow White, Walt said, "I just thought it was a perfect story." By June of 1934, Walt announced to the public that his next project would be an animated feature film called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Many people dubbed this as Disney's Folly. Nobody thought that audiences would be entertained by a full-length animated film. But Walt, the innovator that he was, loved the challenge. For the initial pitch, he gathered his staff and acted the entire movie, scene by scene, playing every single character that would appear in the film. Everyone was on board after that meeting. First was the storyboard process. This allowed Walt to adjust, replace, or delete any scene that had issues. It was the best place to revisit an idea. Next came concept designs for both the setting and the characters. Walt gained a lot of inspiration from European storybook illustrations when it came to the forests and castles. The hardest challenge came with animating the characters, specifically the realistic humans. Snow White went through several designs, including one that were modeled after Betty Boop and Zazu Pitts, but finally came to the conclusion of a design similar to the Silly Symphony classic, The Goddess of Spring. The hardest character to render, surprisingly, came from the prince. Originally, he was supposed to have a much bigger role in the movie, including a scene where he is captured by the evil queen and sent to her dungeon where the dwarfs would rescue him. But the animators did not want to waste time figuring out how to animate him, so he is only shown in the beginning and ending of the film. For the evil queen, she was initially going to have a design similar to a comical Silly Symphony character, but Walt felt the character needed to be cold and beautiful. As for the dwarfs, they were to contrast Snow White's realistic design with a more cartoonish flair. Each dwarf was given a personality that aligned with their name. Walt knew the dwarfs would carry the film and be the main reason the audience enjoyed it. One thing that Walt encouraged his animators to sign up for was night classes that he would later finance himself. The goal was to improve their skills with drawing scenes that involved movement. This would become beneficial when Walt brought in actors to perform scenes from the actual movie. These actors were separate from the voice cast, but looked the part. Speaking of the voice cast, for the voice of Snow White, he initially turned down Deanna Durbin since her voice was deemed too mature. Walt settled on Adriana Caselotti. As for the Queen, Lucille Laverne was hired after her performance in The Tale of Two Cities. For the witch sequence, the story goes that the animators were not pleased with her initial performance. Laverne then stepped out of the booth to remove her false teeth and came back and won them over. Despite the animators' eagerness, the Bank of America was losing sleep over the budget of the movie. The budget was supposed to be $250,000, but Walt had spent $1 million and needed $500,000 more to finish the film. But with rising costs, the bank wanted to meet with Walt and discuss the future of their relationship. Please tune in next time where we discuss the future of Snow White. On the season finale of It All Started with a Mouse, The History of Disney.
During the last few years, we've ventured into a lot of different fields, and we've had the opportunity to meet and work with a lot of wonderful people. I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.